Well, hello there, everyone in YouTube land. It's Dr. Trey. And some people wondering where I've been the last couple days. They're like, oh, where's he been? He got the WiiU and he hasn't made a video. What's the point? I got it. He doesn't like the WiiU. The WiiU's a fail. He hates it. That's why. That's why he doesn't want to get back on YouTube. That's the reason. Well, the truth is, been working a lot, so haven't had that much free time. And when you get home and you barely have any free time, it's kind of, should I make a YouTube video or should I play my brand new WiiU? That's a tough one. Anyway, so everybody's been hitting me up about this article about what are they called, 4AA games or 4A games, whatever these dudes' name, this development company's name is. And pretty much dogging out the WiiU CPU, talking about it's a terrible CPU, and yeah, it's terrible CPU. We're not making our game for it. Blah 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 blah. Now everybody's been trying to hit me up. Oh, what's Dr. Trey gonna say? Oh, how's he gonna defend this? Oh. But you know what the funny thing is? You know what the really hilarious thing is? The hilarious thing is, I told you guys this a couple months ago. Didn't I? Didn't I? Didn't I tell you guys a couple months ago in my video about, was it the one about the Broadway? Is it a upscale Broadway processor? I seem to remember telling you all in that video that the WiiU CPU was going to be clocked significantly lower than both the 360 and PS3 CPUs. I seem to remember that. I seem to remember telling you guys that it would probably be clocked anywhere between 1.5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz at the very highest. I seem to remember telling you niggas this. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe you guys should go back and watch the video just to make sure that I ain't going crazy here. But I could have sworn that's what I said. Anyway, so bashing the CPU. Oh, it's not powerful. We're not gonna make the game for it anymore. The funny thing is, when people are BSing. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. This game is published by THQ. THQ is pretty much bankrupt. These people don't have that much money. These niggas are so broke they couldn't even have a booth at E3. It's that bad at THQ. And you guys should have known they didn't even have WWE 13 for the Wii U or the 3DS or the Vita. That should have told you something right there. These niggas don't have no money. They're broke. Adagaki's Devil's Third or whatever his game was going to be called, canceled. They don't have any money. And if you go back and look at the full thing of what they said, they pretty much confirmed that, one, they don't have that much money. Two, their team size is limited. If you look at the other quotes from that same guy, he's telling you that even making a PS3 version is kind of taxing their team because obviously their team size right now isn't as big as it was when the game was announced because THQ is cutting everything. They are about to go bankrupt. So to be honest, this could be damage control from THQ because they can't afford to make a Wii U version, period. And if you even look, he even says, well, we don't have the manpower, but it's something we may go back to in the future. So wait a minute, let me get this straight. So the CPU is crap. It can't run the game, but you may make it in the future? You see? You see? Exposed. You ain't got no money. You don't have enough people to make the game. But going back to the whole CPU is slow thing. Let's go back to where this all started. Now, the first time we heard anything about the Wii U CPU being slower than the one in the PS3 and 360 was from the Tekken creator. Now, he said that it was a little bit slower than those systems. Now you fast forward to the present, and the Wii U version looks as good or better than the other versions. Now you're probably asking yourself, how is that so? It's called learning the hardware. It's already been told to you guys that the Wii U has a slower CPU and a beastly GPU that's supposed to handle things typically done by the CPU. The 360 and PS3 CPUs had to be beasts because all of the crap that they had to do. They had to process audio. They had to process physics. They had to process AI. With a GPU, the graphics chip can do some of that stuff. Now, this developer that's complaining about the Wii U CPU, calling it terrible and garbage or whatever, just so happens to be a mostly PC developer. Now, most PC developers that don't develop games on consoles aren't used to optimizing games for hardware. On a PC, the hardware is pretty much limitless. They have pretty much limitless power, so they don't need to optimize a damn thing. In their world, if your PC can't run it, nigga, you need to buy another PC. That's how they think. Console developers are used to working with restrictions, are used to optimizing games to particular hardware. These guys aren't used to doing that, don't have the money to do so, don't have the time to do so, and don't have the manpower to do so because their publisher is going bankrupt. Actually, I don't even think there was a PS3 version of the first game. There wasn't. But let's go back to this slow CPU thing for a minute. People keep saying, oh yeah, the reason why the ports on the WiiU are so bad is because that freaking CPU, it's just terrible. It's crap. Oh really? Now, here is the time in the video where Dr. Trey destroys that argument. Are you ready? Now, it is common knowledge, that the cell CPU within the PS3 is by far the most powerful CPU. It's more powerful than the CPU in the 360 by a pretty big margin in terms of brute force, raw performance. That's not even up for debate. Now, the Wii U has been confirmed by multiple developers to be clocked lower than both of those CPUs, right? Right? You guys with me? Now, the reason people are saying these ports are bad is because the Wii U's CPU. The CPU is the problem, not the developers. It's the CPU. Care to explain to me that how come when I go over to Digital Foundry and I look at the comparison of Mass Effect 3 on the 360, Wii U, and PS3, they specifically state that the Wii U version performs significantly better than the PS3 version. The reason why a lot of these ports on the Wii U aren't that good is because the developer is not taking the time to optimize it for the system. Now, the 360 and PS3 versions of Mass Effect 3 were in development for at least 2 years, probably 3 years. Okay? By the main teams with a large budget. The Wii U version was not developed by the main team and was only in development for about 5 or 6 months. Yet, it still outperforms the PlayStation 3 version. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And honestly, you PS3 fans should really know that this is BS. Didn't a few years ago, didn't Valve come out and say that the PlayStation 3 was trash? And I quote, Sony should cancel it and do it over because the architecture was so crap? Y'all remember that? I do. I remember Valve saying that the PlayStation 3 performs like a 1.4 gigahertz Pentium 4 on unoptimized code. And it's like, okay, nigga, get to the optimizing. Like, are these people that lazy? And what's funny is you fast forward a couple years later and the PS3 gets the best version of Portal 2 with niggas from Valve on the stage to announce it. Talk about flip-flopping. But this is the moral of the story. If you don't optimize the game for the hardware, it's not going to look very good. If you don't try, it's going to look crappy. Rocket science, I know.